All right, the people wanted it, and today they are going to get it. The club gets in those NBA best ball streets. We are going to do a double dribble draft today with our friend Mike Zakarian from Team Hold. A nice contest over there. $500,000 in total prizes, $10,000 to first place. It's the double dribble. Let's do it. All right, Mike Zakarian joining us from Team Hold. How we doing, Mike?
Good, man. Thanks for having me back. It's nice I feel more comfortable talking basketball than I think I was drafting like my 10th best ball mania team last time I was here. So,
and didn't we had you hosting while we all did cardio? That was the setup, correct?
Yeah, I did no movement. I did the opposite of cardio. Stood still.
Well, I was telling these guys backstage, I was checking in on that team just a little bit ago, and it's advancing. The team I drafted, I remember being particularly, prickly, agitated that day. So I don't know. Apparently it suited me well.
Yeah, you were focused.
Yeah. Andy, how are you doing out there in these streets?
I'm good. I'm just continuing to get absolutely slaughtered in NFL, and I'm looking forward to basketball coming back so I can lose it all again on basketball until I figure out my projections for the year. So it's going to be interesting, but yeah, I'm really excited for NBA to come back. I think I've had one winning week so far in NFL, and so
yeah,
I'm licking my wounds.
It is tough. The Deposit Kingdom on the whole stays hot. Lee, aka Chad from the Badge Bros, who puts together all those sheets, he punched his ticket to Miami this week. But yeah, it's tough sledding out in those NFL streets, and they're just getting more and more competitive. Clay, how have you been this past week?
Well, I still don't have a ticket to Miami for December yet, so we're not as good as we could be doing. But overall, the vibes are high. I'm just trying to cope a little bit. Not good enough.
I got close. I got pretty close in the dog bowl.
The dog bowl.
I had one team that I was sweating, but didn't quite get there.
Damn. Mike, have you been trying to punch any Miami tickets?
Not Miami tickets. I haven't been doing that. I've been firing in the battle royales, and just getting my dick kicked in for the most part. But I told you this, Pete. I binked something on FanDuel on Sunday night. So the thing that I have put the least amount of effort into is the thing that I did that I shipped. But the Sunday night, like $33, 10K up top, I chopped first with thanks to George Kittle and his three tutties on Sunday night.
Like you did, like that's the phone shitter bros like dream, right? You just kind of fire off one lineup and you get this fun sweat. That's never happened for me in my life. And I feel like it's happened a few times for you, Mike.
I honestly, I don't think I'm good at Showdown, but I've binked Showdown like 3 times. But I'm not good.
I think you're good at FanDuel because I feel like every damn screenshot you share is a FanDuel win. Like I think that's what you got to lean into, Mike, is there might be a little correlation there.
It's a lot easier in that structure because it's like, all right, no one's gonna pick. George Kittle was under 1% as the MVP, so I was like, let's just do that, and if it's right, we win, and that's what happened.
Beautiful. We are going to talk some hoops today. Mike, how many of these double dribble drafts have you done on Underdog so far? I know you've been in there ripping some of these off.
We just crossed the 70 threshold. So I don't know if I'm going to get to the full 150, but I'm going to try to get to 100. I was slowing down, and then we banked on Sunday night. We're like, maybe we dabble a little bit more. So I'm going to try to get to 100.
Who are the usernames you see? Like, who are the grinders in there that you can tell are on their way to maxing the double dribble?
I actually haven't seen a ton of the same. Kawaisenberg, DFS. That's one that's in. And he's over at FTN. I see him in everything. I feel like I've seen a couple of the Badge Bros in there as well. And our friend, Chip Skylark. I see him in the chat. I feel like I've seen him quite a few times. But I haven't recognized a ton of the names.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like right now it looks like it's a $10 entry, 56,400 entrants, 42% full, and it locks here in about 2 weeks. Looks like 2 weeks from today. It
Yeah, I think
locks.
opening day is 2 weeks from today.
Andy, I know you said you're looking to get in there a bit. Have you done any drafts though?
I've done a couple, not too many. Mostly, like I said, I've just been getting crushed in NFL, and I'm like, all right, I'd rather save all my dry powder for the dailies, just because you can run through that same amount of money so much faster, or like more consistently. And so I'm just gonna do that. And back like, because when I was playing like maxing the dailies, I was doing a double dribble every single day on Underdog essentially, and so like I'd rather just do that.
And one thing that's definitely interesting about this tournament is you can see, and I think this was due to feedback from last year, and Mike, and Clay can correct me, giving way more of the prize pool to the regular season. You can see the first place in the regular season is 75,000 versus 10,000 for the playoff sprint. How are you feeling about this overall prize structure, and is it impacting how you build your teams at all?
There was some strategy last season in like figuring out who's playing who in the playoffs, how many games are they playing, and then you were also trying to project teams that were basically finishing 4th through 9th, right? Because you didn't really want the teams that were well out in advance or well out ahead of everybody, and they're going to risk guys. Teams that were tanking, you kind of had to weirdly like build around. So I get why they tried to make the adjustment. I'm open. I'm open-minded to this, so I'm willing to see how it works out. How the regular season format, but it did kind of take like the playoff strategy out. That felt like an edge for you, like week 17 correlation bros, or the last time I was here, Clay was ripping off like week 14, 15, and 16. Like that is kind of out the window now. You're just kind of picking the best plays.
Right, because you see the qualifiers, which weeks 1 through 17, that's now where all the money is for this, right? So it is almost more of like rotisserie style versus getting through the playoff gauntlet is more kind of a bonus. Do you like that, Clay?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, to be honest. Like, I think in part too, because a lot, it's not a solo take, but playoff NBA best ball is one of the most fun forms. And this from how much you fired off last year too. It's one of the most fun forms of best ball out there. So I'm kind of into it from a sense of like, it does change, a little bit of like your strategy for how you think about this tournament, being more focused on the regular season, taking away some of that element of having to optimize for like playoff matchups or number of games in a week or resting and that kind of thing. Because it's like, all right, cool. You still have the upside of getting to sweat a team through the playoffs. And that's really sweet if you have a team finish high in the regular season, but it's kind of more straightforward. Like, I'm going to think about this just in terms of like the standing block of, up until whatever, I haven't actually worked out the dates, whatever week 17 is, or whatever the week, for the regular season tournament here, being vastly more important. And I think you avoid some of the stuff too, where you have to worry about like tanking and all that kind of stuff too. We don't have Wemby as pick number 1 this year, so it's just a whole different element. They try to enact some rules around like resting and that kind of stuff. But overall, I'm kind of into it, and I'm like with Mike. I think like I'm open, and I'm definitely not mad at this approach for trying out. And it's so early too. Like, let's fuck around and find out like what works well. No need to get stuck in a particular thing. And this is a good, I think, sport to test some stuff out where you have enough popularity, where you have interest and then see how it kind of like, goes against the daily habits too. Like with Andy firing off, putting in perspective of doing like a double dribble in a single day is wild to think about, but that's like,
I remember one of the guys who I talked about that really early on was like T-Box when he went on the Badge Bros, and he was like, yeah, I don't really play the best ball stuff that much because like the amount of money that you can put down versus, and like compared to the amount of time versus just like auto drafting that many, like max entering every single NBA contest every day, it's just like not even close. And so like the time value you get from the daily stuff is just way better.
Mike, with 70 drafts deep, are there any kind of like macro strategy things you've been leaning into? When we hop into the draft, we can talk more specific player takes, but just seeing the price structure, it makes me wonder, with it so tilted toward the regular season, is like macro correlation on undervalued teams. Is that part of your strategy?
Not so much. I've been just trying to like make a couple of tinkers, a couple of like tweaks to rankings, and that is where I'm like trying to get into my like edge a little bit. And the biggest thing is just like bigs. I feel like too many of these lineups are drafting like 4 or 5 bigs. And the way the scoring structure works is you start 2 guards, 2 wings, 1 big, and 1 flex. So there's really no world in which you need to be taking, especially if you're taking somebody like Jokic, Embiid, Anthony Davis, Sabonis. Like if you're using a first round pick on a big, like you need that guy to be awesome. So there's no reason to be taking like a 4th big. I'd only take 2 or 3 there. So that's kind of like the structural flag that I'm planting is like maybe 3 bigs max usually.
Gotcha. Anchor big here.
Yeah.
Anchor big. That was my team that did
That was
best
what I
last
did
year.
in my most recent one as well.
Yeah. I had a team with just AD and Joel Embiid. Only 2 bigs I drafted on that team that went farthest for me in the main basketball contest last year. So
yeah.
As long as AD
there
fragile, but fragile for good reason.
Andy, are there any other things you're thinking about? Maybe even like team level stuff or kind of angles you're interested in attacking over the next couple of weeks?
I mean, like, honestly, I feel like this whole tournament really just lends itself to draft the best players, which sounds ridiculous. But I think the one thing that I saw Dink tweet about this a little bit recently as well is just like how valuable it is projecting players who are actually going to play like 70 plus games. Like it really, really makes a difference in stuff like this because there's like the volume's way different than NFL in that sense. And you can kind of project it a little bit more. And so I think that's one thing is like, I'm a little bit more wary of the more injury prone players or guys who I'm not going to be shocked to see them sitting out back to backs and things like that.
Yeah.
Which tends to have me end up going with like a lot of younger guys, maybe in like bubble, like play-in size teams. Like I really like taking like a lot of the Thunder players and kind of teams like that, just because you know that they're going to be playing hard. They're young, they're healthy, they want to get their run in. They're not going to get benched or anything else.
Well, I know we'll get there, and that's why I think it's kind of nuts that Wembayama's going like anywhere between 20 and 27. And I know he's so fun, and like his highlights last night were insane. I just don't see them running him into the ground this early and to be being taken at the end of the second, early third. Like, man, I don't know. I know it's fun. It's a fun click because he's awesome and he's going to be awesome for a while, but I just don't know if I'm firing that bullet that early.
Yeah, because like you're probably not going to get that consistency you need, especially if you're going with like a smaller amount of bigs.
Yeah.
Mike, do you find the ADP to be pretty efficient though, for the most part?
Man, no, actually, I don't. Even early, like I think it's kind of nuts that Anthony Edwards is going 7th overall, and I love Ant is great. I love Ant-Man, but you look at the dudes going behind.
It's too low, right?
No, I would take Sabonis, AD, Halliburton, all before Ant. I think, and I'm taking AD over Sabonis right now too. Which I know he's injury prone and Sabonis is great. I don't even think Sabonis is bad, but Anthony Davis is awesome when he's on the court. So if you get a healthy season from him, he's like a top 5 guy.
So
Mike, aren't you worried that Anthony Edwards changed his jersey number?
Yeah, that is
MVP this year.
Yes. It's terrifying.
All right, Mike and I are on the clock from 108. Andy's at 112. Clay already took Luca at 14. You already said you're out on Anthony. Is this Davis, I think we said was your guy?
I think we take AD here, and then we don't have to take a big for like ever. We can just.
Are you guys going to FUD Anthony Edwards all the way down to me at 12 and make me take him?
Well, I still think Ant-Man's a good pick. I just like AD, Halliburton, and Sabonis are all gonna outscore.
No, I totally agree, and I also just like, I don't know, the really high end guard stuff to me. I feel like at that range, something about wing gets thinner faster,
way faster.
And so, like, I just would rather, like, I think I'd rather have Durant than Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, Siakam scares me a little bit just because I don't really know what's going to go on with Toronto this year. I think you could make the case for Mikal Bridges to be even higher than he's going as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with both of those.
Guard's so deep. It's like you can feel pretty comfortable clicking guard deep into the draft. And obviously that's part of the fun of the strategy here is the positional allocation. I even think about like, I kind of took Luca there because he's going at 2 in a lot of drafts, but
Luka at 4
there's
is
reason that
fire.
you would take Tatum. Yeah, Luca at 4 is great. I'm not going to miss that, but like you could
Yeah.
argue that like Tatum is a better click strategically in this contest because of the wing depth position, and then I think it does put a premium on the high end bigs, as we've said. So I think it's fun. I mean, personally though, if we're trying to implement some of the thought like in NFL, right, we try to think about like, well, who is the first and second round guys for next year? And I know Pete, you're really good about this kind of like thought process and thinking through this. To me, like Anthony Edwards be going as like high as like, I don't know, in the Luka territory next year. Like I don't think that's crazy. Like I'm bullish, man. I'm like definitely buying into the hype. But I'll let you guys pick here.
Dude, I hate
right,
this
Mike.
spot so much. I think like if I'm taking a guard, I'm taking LaMelo here.
Yeah.
I think Julius Randle's just a fucking gross click, but I just don't know what wings are going to be. Yeah, let's take LaMelo. Let's take LaMelo.
Okay.
Would you consider? I haven't really spent very much time contemplating like whether or not you want two superstars on the same team. Like, does having LeBron and AD make it feel better or worse? I think it's worse, right?
I don't think I think they're taking usage away from me. Like, because I think part of the reason that AD is going to be really fun this year is I just don't think LeBron's going to play like, more than 65 games. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess it's team dependent. Like with the Thunder, I feel like you could take all those dudes, but with the team like the Lakers or like, I don't think I want to start Giannis Dame either. Not that is an option, but
it's interesting. Like, tell me how this works for if there is, load management or minutes restriction, right? Because if you just say he's going to play less games, but in the games he is playing, he's a usage monster. Like that's good for fantasy versus if he was playing limited minutes every night across the whole season. And then you're never getting like game-changing scores.
Right. No, that's true. That is true. Like when it like depends too. I like LeBron going to who's that? It's Mookie, right? Where he already has Tatum in there. I like that a little bit better because you're never like relying on LeBron to be your number one dude. But when he comes in, he's gonna score, right? But you have Tatum. But if he's your number one guy, like if he would have been our first wing off the board, then you're like relying on LeBron. We do have to get a wing with our next spot, though. We absolutely do.
Just because they're all going to be depleted by the end of the third round?
It gets thin real fast. Like all of a sudden you're drafting guys and you're like, this guy is not very good.
Yeah.
So Andy started Steph and Mikal Bridges from the 1-2 turn. We, of course, paired LaMelo Ball with Anthony Davis, and Clay has gone Luka and De'Aaron Fox there with your pick. What are you trying to cook up over here, Clay?
Robust guard. No. I just like upside, man. I don't know. Luka was a great pick at 4. Pretty high on Fox, just from like a age and upside standpoint. I still think he's an ascending player. Another year with Sabonis. The Kings like to play fast and a lot of points. A team we frequently target in DFS or in daily contests. So those are the kind of players I'm really got my eye on. Definitely debated Jaylen Brown just from like a wing with upside. I think he really needs to prove some stuff this year too. So you kind of like to buy that. What do I want to do here? This is a fun question. I want to go Laurie Marketing. We're gonna take the games.
We love Laurie.
I think that was the right pick there.
Yeah, that's the right pick.
We love Laurie, Pete, but I don't even want to.
I know who you want.
God damn, that's who I wanted.
Zion.
Yeah,
I know.
I was
some research on our guys that carry in here.
I think his ADP is too low.
Me too. I have fucking 30%. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. It's afternoon.
I love cursing.
Let it fly, buddy.
30% Zion.
Who's the pick, Mike? You're the thought leader. Oh, you're muted.
Tough scene.
Is it?
Oh, his mic's fucked up.
I would probably take Cat and then just like never draft a big
Scotty.
again.
Scotty. Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh no.
No, brutal. Oh, that was my mic cut out.
Your mic literally cut out. And I thought I almost had it. I almost had it
So
for you.
my problem is I think that Scotty Barnes is at maybe just like not that good, and I really don't trust Toronto this year. That's my issue with Scotty.
I think that's fair. But I think Scotty is he's gonna handle the ball. Like he's gonna be there, he's gonna be playing point forward. And I think they're gonna do like they are gonna find out this year what he can do, and they're just gonna give him the offense. So I think Barnes is gonna be whether or not I think Toronto is gonna be a shit show, but I do think they'll be good. I will say, Pete, I don't know how we ended up on a big here.
Sorry, I'm just letting Underdog know that my drafting partner needs a better mic here.
We spent the first 10 minutes. You're like, oh, dude, what are some thoughts? And I'm like, well, we definitely don't need a lot of bigs. And if you get a big early, after we took Anthony Davis, I was like, we don't have to take a big forever. So even with my mic cutting out, you strategically are smart enough to know not to go.
No, I mean,
go bully big.
Andy's gonna wait. But I should have known that Andy is a direct competitor to us in this draft, and he's trying to sabotage and push the wings down to him. And of course, he does take Brandon Ingram. So your plan completely worked, Andy.
And now, so
I love Brandon Ingram this year. Ingram and Zion, I love.
Can we see who the rest of the wings are?
Yeah, we're looking at DeMar, Kawhi, Kyle Kuzma, Franz Wagner, Jeremy Grant, Jabari Smith.
I honestly think oh man.
Damn, everyone in the chat thinks that Scotty's good. I don't get it. I mean, I watched him play last year. His rookie year, he looked great. I watched him play last year. I don't know.
The vibes are bad last year in Toronto. That's what I'm selling it on that. Man. All right. So with DeRozan really slipping here.
Don't mute yourself, Mike. We're about to be on the clock.
I know.
We have LaMelo, Anthony Davis, and a very controversial Karl Anthony Towns pick so far. Robust big.
We're not drafting another big. Let's take the claw here. Let's take Kawhi Leonard. I think that I don't love DeRozan's upside. And I think Kawhi, I know everyone's like, oh, he doesn't play. People, you're getting him 41st. So I think that's fine.
All right. We're gonna recover here. Clay did get Laurie, and so this is right here. Is it after Ingram that just there's a massive tier break at wing? Is that what you're feeling?
I've actually been drafting Kawhi ahead of Ingram. I like both of them, but to me, those are the last two spots, and then it gets a little funky, and you're like, okay, OG Anunoby, Jeremy Grant, and then or you're banking on young dudes without Jabari Smith Jr. and stuff like that. So which are all still fine, but we are done with
I think Franz and Jabari I don't feel awful about for an upside.
Yeah,
hey, maybe the team's gonna be a little bit better, and I think they're good.
My lock of all locks for the season. No pool, no swimming pool. You're not gonna bink. You need Jordan Poole this year. That's the thesis of the
I like that. My only concern, I think he's going to average 14 turnovers a game. That's my only concern.
It doesn't matter. That just speeds up the gameplay, to be honest. That just means he gets 14.
I don't think he's going to get punched this year, though, by a teammate. I think there's a pretty good chance.
I think that's the pro case. Dude, he has the green. He arguably has the greenest light in the entire league.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I mean, that's pretty late. I like, that range of guards are fun too. Like Bane, Cade, Jordan Poole, and I really like Josh Giddey too. I think Giddey's going to have a solid year. Jordan. I love that Jordan Poole take. That's fun.
That's why I think it's just
I could have
hard
Jordan
to
Poole
go
100% of my
early
teams. I
on.
would. Yeah. I would take Poole on legitimately 100% of my teams if I had the option to. If I could just
How much have we
preload
seen
Jordan
Simons
Poole
and
into my lineup,
Henderson?
I would.
Oh. Say that again, Andy.
How much have you seen Simons and Henderson go up after the Dame trade? Because I'm not super in the weeds on ADP movement and stuff. I haven't done too many of these.
I Scoop more so than Simons, which I was surprised by.
I see they're right next to each other right now.
Yeah, Franz, that's a great pick. I like Chip's squad right there. That's a Franz.
Me too.
Late is pretty good. And then Şengün. I love Şengün play. That's a great.
Yeah.
It's a great first
I love Şengün.
Me too.
Which, as a Thunder fan, it's a bummer, but I really like him as a player.
All right, Mike, we're about to be on the clock. In the fifth, we got LaMelo, Kawhi, and then Anthony Davis and Cat at big. I have taken the bigs off of the screen here.
Yeah.
Is this a guard pick?
put that into the Underdog chat too to just get rid of them for good. I think we take Garland here. I think we just take the best available. I like people sleep on Darius because Donovan Mitchell's there. We'll get a second guard. I know we probably were supposed to take a wing there, but I didn't really love. We'll get a wing our next pick. I didn't really love what was there.
Yeah.
One other guy who went a little earlier than ADP, who I think is probably going to keep getting steamed up, is Porzingis. He looked really good with the Celtics.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that team and with him there.
Yeah,
I had to double check that was a real video of preseason highlights for Porzingis because he did not look like the same player.
Right? He looked athletic.
It's like this 2K? Like what the fuck's going on here?
Does preseason stuff, like, do you see as much movement based on preseason or new stuff as you do with NFL, where like a report can just like move a guy up like 3 rounds?
I mean, Chet Holmgren going. I don't know what his ADP's been lately. I thought he was going in like the late 40s, early 50s, and he just went 39th. Yeah, so his ADP's 54, and he just went 39th, and he had an incredible game last night. So I get it.
Okay, it is. Yeah.
We saw DeAndre Ayton move up a little bit too. Now that he's in Portland, I think like he's actually going to have an offensive responsibility, and he wasn't going to in Phoenix. So I think he's been.
Sorry, you mean
moving
dominating?
Dominant. God, fucking corny skull.
What was your take, Mike? Didn't you have a take? Was it about Chet Holmgren versus Wembanyama for something? What was that? I remember you.
Dude, this is in June. I said bet on Chet Holmgren for Rookie of the Year because he's plus 850. And now it's moved down. I think it's like all right, we got to get a wing here. All right, we're a team. We're never going to draft Miles Bridges. Let's Andrew Wiggins. Let's do Wiggs there, I think.
Okay. And so you got some good closing line value on
I think it's like I don't know what it's it dropped all the way down to like plus 250 I think at one point. I don't know what it is now, but I mean it's either I'm sure Wemby's still the favorite, but he's got to be right behind him.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be awesome. I think the Thunder are going to be so fun this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Andy, recap your team here through 6 rounds.
Yeah, so I have some old guys at guard in Curry and Irving. I just at this last turn took Jabari Smith Jr. He's a guy who I'm just like kind of betting on last year being a bit of a weird season. I think he's a really good player now, like a little bit more structure on the team, and like I don't know, I just think that there's gonna be a little bit more coordinated and just like cohesive unit. And then Walker Kessler, my first big off the board. I just think he's really good and just going to put up a lot of points and play a lot.
I love that.
Let's see here. We got a question from the chat. Thoughts on Drew Holiday fitting into the Celtics? Any takes from the panel?
I think he's going to be great. I just don't know if fantasy
unbiased takes.
No, I think the Celtics are going to be real good. I just don't know fantasy wise if like I mean he's going to be the 4th option offensively, I think, and I don't know. I want his ADP to come down before I start taking some shots on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love
that. There's just so many mouths to feed on that team, fantasy point wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, but I don't have to take Miles Bridges. That's nice. Who else just went that I was looking at?
Mike, what is your, don't say the player if he's still on the board, but what percentage is your highest exposure player? Like how overweight have you gone on a position?
I've got 33, 31, and a 29 as my 3.
And these are all late round guys who haven't been drafted yet?
Zion, I have 29% of.
Okay.
So he's off the board. And I think I also have like 27% of Jamal Murray. I got a lot of Jamal Murray. Yeah, I honestly, I'm like so overweight on some of these takes that I'm either winning this thing or I'm very much not.
Who's the pick, Mike?
Oh, sorry, we're on the clock. Yeah, we got to take another wing. I think either Cam Johnson or Tobias Harris. I think either one of those. The talk out of actually, you know what, Pete? Let's actually click Devin Vassell right here. The guard.
Okay.
So I like Devin Vassell quite a bit.
All right, so we went from a wing to a guard there. He jumped off the page to you.
Yeah, I want a lot of bites at the Devin Vassell apple. I think he's going to score a bunch for them.
Okay.
Spurs paid him. We probably should have taken a wing there, but let's have fun. If we can take Karl Anthony Towns, we can take Devin Vassell, you know?
Yeah. I get what's happening here. You're using my single bullet in this contest to help diversify your massively overweight stances on other
The flattest
players.
exposure.
Devin Vassell right now, I have 17% of.
Okay. All right. That's healthy. That's healthy.
But yeah, Zion's the take that I like planted, a flag planted the hardest. I just think he's like a top 12 guy if he plays. And so, you know, if you're getting him in the 20s, whatever, man, I'll take the shot.
Yeah. I like how you were already like exasperated on defending your Devin Vassell take, like just like 30 seconds after picking him. Why? I don't have to defend this pick.
They paid him.
Andy does get Cam Johnson there at 84 and is about to make his second pick here.
Yeah, I don't really know who I want to take. I'd like to take another big, but I can't say I'm very excited about taking Jarrett Allen.
He's going to miss some time too, it sounds like.
Yeah. I do really like Joe Val as kind of a opposite end of the spectrum. Like maybe Zion doesn't play that much, and he does put up a lot of fantasy points. But I think I was too late. I was going to take Brook Lopez, but I fucked it up.
There's some Jonas. Actually, Pete, I can tell you who my highest one is because we're not going to take him because we already have two bigs. But Mark Williams, I have 33% of Mark Williams, and his ADP was like in the 120s. I think he's going to leapfrog Wendell Carter Jr. soon.
Give me an NFL comp for Mark Williams.
Oh, let's go. Let's see. That's fun. Athletic freak who is, I mean, most of his points I think are going to come on the defensive end. I feel like he's going to be a good blocks, steals, rebounds guy. Let's see. What's a good?
Oh, we're on the clock. Hang on one second.
Oh, sorry. We need a win. Let's do Aaron Gordon.
Okay, to hedge all your Jamal Murray exposure
and Michael Porter Jr. exposure.
There you go. All right.
And we could have taken Brandon Miller there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have Mark Williams top of my queue. You might have mushed me a little bit there, Mike, but sorry.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Early.
If this is the comp for Mark Williams, you're screwed, Mike.
No.
Because the thing is, they actually played him last year.
Yeah, and they traded away Plumlee. Kai Jones losing his mind right now, and so they don't have any other bigs. He's going to play a ton.
If like Freiermuth was having the kind of season Laporta is, like I think he'd be a great comp.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right,
that's good. Ooh, Chip's
right,
calling him like a fullback. Use Chip.
Oh man, did you see this? Jake Ferguson makes me think. Did you see the Jerry Jones quote about CeeDee Lamb? They're like, don't you guys want to get CeeDee Lamb the ball more? He's like, I don't know, man. I'd like to get it to the tight end.
I loved that.
Jerry Jones just like plays fantasy, but it's just like in his head of just like, I think it'd be fun if we just got the tight end more involved this week. It's like,
I think one of them fullbacks, one of them Cal checks.
Yeah, check with the score. Yeah.
Pete, did Joe Cronin share your blog, your newsletter this week?
Yeah, it's been circulating internally at the Trailblazers.
Yeah,
just everywhere. Yeah,
it's wonderful.
It's been big. Yeah, saw a huge boost in subscribers this week.
It'd be cool if it made like a Dame diss track.
No, the funniest part about it is my other cousin subscribes to my newsletter and sent me a photo of his Moleskin journal and said, "Wait, are you doing profiles on all of your cousins' Moleskin journals? Because I'm available here."
That's excellent.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that one. All right, Clay, you're about to be on the clock. You did get Michael Porter Jr. at 76, and then we took Aaron Gordon at 89. You then took Wendell Carter Jr., and you're on the clock now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep stacking wings. I feel like I like my guards. I'm just gonna keep trying to go for some depth at the wing position with some decent upside players. I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on Keegan Murray. I know he's definitely somebody who has a little bit of a mixed bag of opinions on him, but again, kind of buying into the Kings team. I thought he showed a lot of upside last year. I don't mind that as like a Kings like a bet. And then MPJ, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like how Denver handles their stuff this year. But I think overall, I mean, I really like him playing alongside a healthy Jamal Murray and Joker. So, maybe he gets a little bit more involved offensively.
We're on
All
the
right.
clock, Mike. It's a sea of purple.
Let's get you some Portland exposure, huh? Why don't we fire up a little Shade and
There you
Sharp?
God damn it, that's who I wanted.
Talk to me about Shaden Sharp.
Dude, he's a high flyer, and have it on good authority. He took himself out of the dunk contest because they didn't include him in the rookie, like the rookie second year game in All-Star Weekend, which I respect. He's like, you didn't think I was one of the best rookies? I'm not doing the dunk contest. But he's awesome. He's so fun, and he was a fantasy point per minute monster at the end of the year when they were starting to shut everybody down, and they moved everybody. So. It's gonna be fun,
man. The poor dunk contest. They just what? Who is the guy? Who is our dude? Who
Matt McClung.
Is he kicking around on a roster these days?
Yeah, I think he was a part of the Ringer. The Ringer did like a G League video, and I think he was one of the dudes they followed around with Scoot Henderson. I think he's still on the Sixers.
That was actually my one of my best friends produced that documentary. It was like with the G League one. Yeah, he officiated my wedding. So it was really fun to see. Yeah, profile. He's like back at it. I can't remember who he's profiling this year, but yeah, it was wild. That was like Mac, Scoot, and Norris Cole was the other one.
Norris Cole, that's a great one. That's a great name.
Yeah.
All right.
He's still signed.
Andy took a name that I swear feels made up. Benedict Mathurin.
Benedict Mathurin.
Mathurin.
Yeah, he's coming into his second year. He's a good player.
Benny. He's a good player.
And then the Marcus Smart pick, his ADP feels a little low to me. I feel like Ja's out for the first 25 games, and who knows, he might bring his gun out again next season and be suspended more. Like we have no proof that he is capable of not wielding firearms. So it could be more time. And then even when Ja's back, I think he's still going to play a lot.
I'll let you. Josh Hart's probably the boring pick. Let's take Obi Toppin. Let's get some Pacers love.
Obi Toppin was popping.
Right? Let's get some.
Erupts for 34 in Sunday's win.
Yeah, the Pacers are going to play real fast. They're not going to play a lot of defense. Halliburton's going to be finding them all over the place. He's good. Or we'll find out. We're going to find out real early if he's good.
All right.
What was
Derek,
it?
these NFL comps. He says Benny Math is George Pickens.
That's great. Well done.
Thanks, Chip. I'm glad that someone appreciated my joke.
It was a good joke.
You NBA bros have to reach across the aisle, give us NFL guys some comps to really help some of these picks land home for us.
Derek White would be somebody that's recently balding, but I don't know. Do we have any good examples of that? I just saw a highlight. It's the first time I've seen him play basketball with a shaved head. I legit did not know who it was.
Who is it?
Yeah,
Derek
I mean,
White.
his hair prior was crazy too. I'm glad that someone was just like, dude, come on. No one's buying it. Your hairline's like literally in the middle of your head, like the top of your head. Like it's not good.
I'll be interested to hear what Mike thinks of this pick real quick. Is because I think he's a little undervalued relative to the team he's on this year and opportunity, especially as other guys sit. But Christian Wood, I think, has a little bit of a bullish path to upside. If you don't get a full slate of AD games / LeBron games, some narrative-based stuff there too with him wanting to be on the Lakers and everything, and like it's a prove-it year to go get a big contract elsewhere. He's like publicly spoken about that.
Yeah, I think it's a fine dart throw, especially as your third big and you already have like Şengün and Wendell Carter Jr. So I think it's fine. My only concern with Christian Wood is he's been on bad teams and they stopped playing him. He's been on good teams and they stopped playing him. I don't know what scenario people. Yeah, he's a fantasy point per minute monster. He's awesome. Yeah, but Jason Kidd was just like, hey man, we need a big so bad and we're still not going to play him. And so that makes me nervous, but dude, the Lakers culture, baby, he's going to fit right in. He'll plug and play. But you're right. If AD misses time and they play him, he'll crush.
You guys, we mentioned like anchor big, getting early big, and then waiting a long time. Mentioned punting guards. ANS asking, is there any other certain structures you guys think through for NBA best ball?
Man, my biggest thing is like I just try to take some. I mean, this isn't a hot take, just like massive upside picks when we get late. Like, I'm not really interested in some of these dudes who I know are going to play 20 minutes a game. Like, I want like lottery picks on bad teams. Like, we'll get to some of those guys. Like, if the Utah Jazz decide to pack it in, we'll talk about some of those guys on that team as we get closer. But like those types of guys, I think that's one of my priorities late.
Yeah,
Wow, you're
I
getting
definitely
killed
agree
in
with
the
that.
chat for this Christian Wood take. Everyone hates Christian Wood. I hate to tell it to you, buddy. You're gonna have all the Christian Wood you want by the looks of this.
So,
Yeah,
the
it sounds like I could
Claypool,
have got him like 2 rounds later, but Claypool's a savage comp.
yeah, Robbie.
That is
I was gonna ask if he still gets points when he's playing in China. Like, do those points carry over? It's like a conversion rate or something, or
Is this your
yeah,
Noah
happens
Gray
after week 6.
play? Is
No,
Christian Wood
I
gonna
think
be
it's
your Noah Gray?
well, I don't know. I got to evaluate, but it's a different thesis than Noah Gray, that's for sure.
What Chip just put into the chat too, like that is when talking about structure like that. I agree almost 100% with like, and I'd rank them in that order too.
Yeah.
673 763 772 664. That is not my phone number. Those are structures for the double dribble draft.
Yeah.
Mike, we're on the clock in the 11th.
Oh, damn. Trey Burke.
Let's say some prayers. Let's take some Amen Thompson, huh?
can you stop taking the guys who
Now
I
I
want
get
on my pick every time?
Look, Andy, this is fucking payback for telling us to take Towns with that. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, that's another upside guy. I wasn't taking any of him until the Rockets finally were like, "Hey, Kevin Porter Jr., you're not welcome here anymore." And now that opened up some minutes. Ooh,
It is hard for me to know if you like him or if you just wanted to set up that prayer joke.
dude, that's some of the best comedy when it's not forced. You know what I'm saying? Like that was organic. It worked it out well.
Well, I was like looking at Chris Paul and D'Angelo Russell, and I'm like, oh, do they like chuck up a bunch of like prayer shots and then amen, baby? That's what we're here for.
All right, what's our structure right now? Are we 5-4-2?
5-4-2. Yep.
All right, I know who we're taking next, unless Andy snags him, since we've been on the same wavelength.
So what is this? Does this put us on a 7-7-2 trajectory?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's that? Cheese.
Dort report.
Well, we do love Lou Dort.
I was debating between Dort and Jarris Walker.
Yeah, I wanted Walker. That's another pay. Although we got Toppin, so I guess that wasn't Walker wouldn't have made as much sense. We should probably find another wing here, though.
Wow, the chat's going wild for Amen.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Whoa, geez, iceberg.
Keep that comment paywalled for the video watchers. The audio listeners don't get that one. All right, we're on the clock, Mike.
Jesus. Let's reach down for old cum buckets here. Let's go grab Jonathan Kuminga.
Who? Oh, okay.
Jonathan Kuminga.
You can't just say cum buckets and assume I know what that means.
Come on.
Yeah, especially after the comment we were referencing too. Like, God damn.
I mean, should be cum buckets first, and then you go to the church to pray.
Amen. I don't know, man. I'm a little bit nervous about what he's actually going to do, but maybe Draymond misses a little bit of time. They got to find out if he's good or not, because he's either gonna play or they're gonna trade him this season, I think. And if he gets traded,
I'm nervous about our last 4 picks if we're already this out of ideas here in the 12th round.
Hey, no, well, I know the direction we go as we get later. I feel like this is the hardest part of this draft. Like 10 through 13, I find to be pretty tough.
Yeah, because you get a bunch of guys who just like kind of feel gross.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to draft DeAndre Hunter, but like,
right.
I guess, I don't know. Thankfully, it's Mookie did it for me, so I don't have to.
There you go.
I'm just now making an ultimate like chat hate team.
No, I know. Your last 2 picks are great. I like Caleb Martin. Miami did not grab any wings, so I love Caleb Martin and Dylan Brooks.
We'll get the burn.
I think
Dylan
you
Brooks
guys kind of already answered this, but you don't
think
hate
about
clip, but-
team level correlation at all? I mean, we were talking about the Anthony Davis, LeBron thing, but you don't find yourself gravitating to more players from some of the positions or players you invested early capital in?
Almost like a handcuff. Is that what you mean?
Or no, just being like, okay, so if Anthony Davis like performs as the 101, that doesn't necessarily mean the rising tide is going to lift all Lakers boats in the way it kind of does for NFL.
I think it's more team based in how they play. Like I'm more interested in the Pacers, the Thunder. I don't know what another good example. Maybe the Rockets will play fast too. I'm trying to find the teams.
Kings.
Kings, yeah. What's nice about the Kings too is that offense is super concentrated. So you can just go Fox and Sabonis, then there's a drop, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk. But I'm more targeting offenses, I think. Of like fast-paced offenses, sorry.
Chipsy says he correlates teams that are cheap and fast and play no defense.
Yep.
That's the easier way to do it. I mean, if you want to get like really technical, is a bit over my head. Like I think there's some really plus EV stuff when correlating between like a big and a guard if they run like a lot of like pick and roll offense together.
Yeah.
So like I think it's too much draft capital. But an example, I would be interested in a Dame and Giannis team because they could each hit ceilings on like a very frequent clip because of how they kind of like play nicely together. Whereas like I don't know if you're hoping that like if you have AD, I'm probably not going to be taking like Austin Reeves as frequently just because like I think for Reeves to hit his ceiling outcome, it's not when it's the ball's being played through AD. I don't think they complement each other as well. Now I need to get some more stats to back up that argument, but that's kind of how I think about it, at least like a layman's level.
Actually, I got a fun one for you late.
No one wants D'Angelo Russell in this draft, apparently. He's like 40 picks past ADP now.
Kaminga is Sky Moore was a good comment in the chat.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that's good.
Roll the clip for cum buckets. Who's it going to be here?
Let's grab Batman. Let's grab Grant Williams. I think he's kind of cheap for. He's going to play a ton of minutes in Dallas because he plays defense. And he's
Dallas sucks too. Like every player that's not Luka and Kyrie is awful.
Yeah, and so I think Grant Williams is just going to stand in the corner, shoot some threes, play some defense. So I don't mind that there. A little security for the wing spot.
All right. 10 minutes ago, you were
do you like that?
Home run swings possible, and now we're strapping on the condom and
we're
in the deep player.
Yeah, we're about to take the condom off for these last three.
All right, good. That's what I like to hear. I'm glad we kept it on for cum buckets, and now we can.
Come on. You just had a child. We're not trying to.
Is that actually his name? Do people call him that, or did you just call him that for the first time?
People call him cum buckets, right?
I mean, I've never personally heard.
I've never called him cum buckets personally.
Really?
Like Clay's pretty in tune. It might just be you, Mike.
Let's come on over to Team Holt, dude. We got Pray for Thompson. We got cum buckets.
They have everything.
Yeah, Kevin Porter just went off the board.
I love to think that like Mike's like the only one who calls him that, and so he's just like having conversations with Kelsey, like referring to him as such, and then like they're the only two people around who refer to Jonathan Kuminga as such nickname as cum buckets.
I've been trying real hard to push Kevin Squirter, but no one is getting on board with that one. I really like that.
Squirt. I can get behind that one.
Andy with that's
Prey,
my second highest owned player with Andy's pick right there is Keontae George. I think he was awesome in summer league. They don't have a point guard. They really like him. All of like the reports out of camp is he's gonna crush. I love Keontae George.
Oh no, please not Marvin Mims.
No.
Oh no.
I really hope that's not the case.
We're gonna grab one more wing, Pete, since we're going 7-7.
Can it be Marvin Mims without Sean Payton?
Let's click KJ Martin here next. I like him because especially because we have Kawhi Leonard. So anytime Kawhi or Paul George sit, we have some ceiling outcomes with KJ. He's solid, especially if Norman Powell gets traded in the well, not that he would take Norman Powell minutes, but Marcus Morris is going to be gone off this Clippers team. I don't know. I like KJ.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought too, of like, because what you just kind of described was almost handcuffing, right? As far as like, but because a lot of these guys are just going to have no value down here, but you can actually lock in some production that's tethered to your early picks.
Well, and we're not relying on KJ Martin either week to week, right? So I wouldn't do this with a lot of guys, but KJ does have some ceiling in him. And so like, it's not like we're just getting a normal replacement level for Kawhi. I feel like he can still pop. So I don't do that often, but that's one of the spots I'll do it. And to go back
play.
to what you were talking about earlier
Right.
with like the players from similar teams. I mean, from the same team. Like if I have Zion, I don't take Ingram, and vice versa. Like that's another example. Like I don't think you want both of those.
No, certainly not. And I'm honestly not going
Big
to take
gets
Middleton
thin
on
really
a team
fast.
with like Giannis or Dame.
All right, we got 2 more rounds here. Mike, did you say we're guard to finish out?
I think so. I don't think we need another big. I think we have Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think we take another big. This will be my first. Oh no, I guess I did one other big, too big. I got a fun pick for you, Clay, for your last pick if he's still there.
Yeah,
It goes off of what something you were saying. Put it in the
I
private
like
chat.
that. I like that. Oh, okay. I'm into that.
Yeah,
I like him as well.
yeah. We'll have a conversation. I don't want to have Clay get sniped.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So, Pete, is this going to be the start of a lot of drafts for you?
I get asked this question whenever I draft a non-football team. People ask me when I drafted my MLB team that ended up doing really well. It got bounced, I think, in the semis. The answer is no. This will probably be my only draft. I will say, though, I will come back roaring with a vengeance for NBA playoff basketball because I think I got like 100 of those down last year. I get obsessed with that.
Dude, I'm still so tilted. And I know I probably talked to you about it at length privately, Pete, but all right, we're on the clock here. Oh, dude, so here, I'll let you pick this one of this range. I love Bogdan here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christian Brown
Mm-hmm.
and Peyton Pritchard just for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
And he's been playing well.
Yeah.
He's had some really good games.
Trust the market.
Yeah. I like Bogdan because we don't have DeJounte or Trae Young. And if either of those guys go down, it's a great pick. And even if he doesn't, he would look awesome in the FIBA World Cup.
Yeah.
Do you think of any stuff with like all, similar with football, a lot of these guys, low probability bets, getting guys that aren't drafted in every contest? Is that something you think about? I
saw Chip's comment. I do try to scroll down a little bit there in the 16th round. But again, those high end, usually young, unproven guys who could find themselves in a role. I don't know. Are you guys doing that as well? Are you scrolling down at all?
I have been a little bit. I feel like you don't necessarily have to that much, and it gets really thin really fast.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about it for I definitely wanted to go 4 bigs because none of mine really blew me away. I like Walker Kessler, but I don't think I have crazy strong bigs. But I don't know, taking Al Horford here feels pretty good comparatively to.
Yeah. I like a Hero Kongwu pick too. We skipped over that. I like Onyeka a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, I like him too. I like Anthony Black a lot. I also got a little distracted. I think I probably could have waited on him if I needed to, but I think he's going to do well this year.
Yeah, I think one of those guards has to do well. Sorry.
Mike, if people want to check out more double dribble drafts, you've been doing a bunch on Team Hold, right?
We do a daily show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. over at Team Hold Live. If you just put that into YouTube, but every Friday at 3, we're doing a little Underdog happy hour action, and trying to bring a guest on, do some drafts. We had Kawhi, who I mentioned earlier, come on and do one. So definitely come check that out.
Yep. Team Hold, I got it linked down below. Although if you guys aren't watching this and already subscribed, please do so. All kinds of regular NBA content over there. Mike, are you daily right now?
Yeah, we're back to daily, Monday through Friday.
I did take Braun. I didn't even confer with you on that. Were you okay with that?
Yeah. The only feedback I got for you, Pete, is we've learned it's Brown.
Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like an A-chain thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Christian Brown. There you go. Had to get a little homer pick there of Denver at the end.
I like Christian Brown.
One guy really scrolling down who I'm not really a fan of in real life necessarily, but I think could be interesting is Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Who's basically going undrafted. Now that he's on Phoenix, he is probably slated to. He's gonna play basketball, I think.
Yeah, he's going to play basketball. There's a couple
That's
here
a
too.
principle no click.
I don't. Clay's on the clock, so this wouldn't ruin anything. But I kind of like taking shots at some of these guys, like Jonathan Isaac, Sasha Vezenkov, who no one is drafting, who was like the EuroLeague MVP that's been playing with the Kings. I think like those two are fun clicks.
I thought about doing Isaac because, like, you think at this point in time they're gonna like try to play him if he's at all healthy after basically being out since 2019. Yeah, but I don't know.
And I think
like
anti-woke clothing company is doing really well.
I gotta
Clay,
run, guys.
You have to get you got to get out of here. Yeah, we're gonna shut down here in a sec too. But Clay, I'll let you get out of here. Good draft. Don't let the chat haters get your wood down on.
Oh, dude, nice,
pick, all right, there you
go.
go.
Keep those.
I almost drafted Grady Dick to really bring it home with the end there. But, we didn't quite make it last.
Damn.
That's another one I like. Bilal Coulibaly is another guy who I like.
Oh yeah, and he's like what? To you, Clay? He's like 15 or something too. Like he's like the youngest dude in the league.
Well, that's how I feel about Shaden Sharp as well, who you guys drafted. He's not even 20 yet, or he just turned 20.
I know.
He's going into his third season.
All right, Mike, give the final recap of our 7-7-2 build here.
All right, I'll take back some of my anger. I actually kind of like it now. So what do we got? LaMelo. Here, you want to scroll up so I can see?
Yeah, I'll do the board here.
Yeah, LaMelo, Garland, Vassell there at the. Oh, I'm sorry. AD, LaMelo, Towns, Kawhi Leonard. That's a great start. Garland, Wiggins, Devin Vassell, Gordon, Shaden Sharp, some home run picks, and Shaden Obi, Amin Thompson, come buckets, Graham Williams, KJ Martin, and then finishing up with little Bogdan and Christian Brown.
All right, Andy, give us your final.
Yes, I'm going to say caveat from the start. I wasn't totally paying attention. I thought I had one more pick and I could get one more wing. So I have an interesting build set up here. But it's unique. So I have Curry, Kyrie, Mathurin, Smart, Herter, Keontae George, and Anthony Black as guards in my nice 7-5-4 build. And then I have at wings, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Ingram, Jabari Smith Jr., Cam Johnson, and Lou Dort. Which even though I only have 5, I actually feel pretty good about that crew. I went pretty heavy on wing early on. And then for bigs, I have Walker Kessler, Joe Val, Onyeka Okongwu, who you mentioned briefly, Mike, but I like him. I think there's a chance that he's just like better than Clint Capella.
I think Clint might get traded this year. Yeah, so that's kind of the bet there. And then I think Al Horford at 180 doesn't really make sense. He's the only I just don't think that they're going to have Porzingis play the 5 that much. And I think Horford's going to get serious runs still, even though he's old. Yeah, I like that.
Beautiful. Mike, appreciate you being our guide here, my guide today through the NBA streets. I should also mention, if you guys happen to miss this, and I know some of you in the Badge Bros channel have already seen some of this stuff from Rudman swinging by, but check out Sam Berman's thread today about their Gladiator program that just got a facelift. It has all the information about the different tiers, gold, silver, and bronze, relative to how many daily drafts you're doing with the battle royales and the various rake back you can get, all the way up to a 50% rake back if you do 75 or more. And it sounds like they're putting a pretty concerted effort into building this out. I know some of you guys were in the comments asking follow-up questions. Sounds like there might be some stuff for Best Ball Mania next year as well. So good stuff from our friends at Underdog. Andy, anything else here before we peace out?
No, nothing else from me.
Mike, appreciate you swinging by. Remind the people once more the schedule too, if they want to catch any. Do you have any evergreen draft stuff too? I know there's a lot of kind of like 101 type questions that people have.
Yeah, I think I do have one 101 like best ball structure thing. I have like a top 5 like sleeper picks, stuff, a couple of those types of videos for this season. But yeah, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. we do the NBA bit, which is kind of like a recap of what happened the night before and projecting some stuff like that. A good hang. And then we're also doing some So Rare content, as that's around the corner on Mondays and Fridays. And then Underdog happy hour every Friday at 3.
Awesome. Check out Team Hold if you want more NBA content. We will be back next Tuesday. I think it was Chipsy who requested an NBA draft here. So if you guys have requests for a different draft or stuff you'd like us to focus on, shoot us a message in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. For Andy, for Mike, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.